My name is DonnaMcKusick, and I'm the Senior Director for Developmental Education. I actually came to the Essex campus 7 years, most of my adult life. Well, first of all, I was divorced. I was working for a private school, and I was making a big $7,000 a year, and I needed to earn more money. And my counselor at the time said, "Why don't you try looking into the community college?" I had no idea what a community college was, and I didn't know where Essex was. But I looked into it, and lo and behold, I called them, and they said, "Yes, as a matter of fact, we're looking for a reading specialist," which is how I was hired, and came to an interview, 3 men and 1 woman. And I think that's an important piece of information because the college was very male-dominated at that time. Then I had a second interview with Jim Rojan, who at that point was the director for the Human Development Division, it was called, and got the job and immediately doubled my salary to a whopping $14,000. I thought I had died and gone to heaven. So when I started my first day, the department chair said, "We usually go out to lunch every Monday. Why don't you meet us at the Double T Diner?" And so I went down to the Double T Diner at 12 o'clock, not even really knowing who I was going to meet except this one person who I had met once during the interview. And nobody came in. I just sat there and waited, and finally went back to the college, to this person's office, and said, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, we decided not to do this today." But we do go out to lunch every single week, and I think that's symbolic. We worked at a slower pace then. We took our hour lunch every single day, and if we did not get it, we felt deprived. It was just a whole different environment. I remember not long after I was hired, Rich Lilly coming up to me and saying, "Welcome to the country club." And what he meant was that we had the advantages of the racquetball courts and the fields. It was a beautiful campus, and I suddenly realized that I had been let in on this great little secret that increasingly people were starting to know about. And I felt very, very privileged. Back then, we did it all. Faculty members, at least in the reading department, were also testers, tutors, advisors. We did the testing of the students coming in. Then we had to sit down and advise students. And in addition to that, we taught 15 credit hours. A few of us had 12-month contracts, and we did a lot of that work during the summer. And we also, our student population was different then. We taught many, many veterans, because I remember entire classes that were primarily young men coming back from Vietnam. We had weekly department meetings. That is certainly something that's different than it is now. We had a lot of say in how our department was run because it was smaller and more local. It had a more local feel to it. Oh, yeah. Over the years, I have seen times where we were flush. Like when I came in, we hired two faculty members to make a 4-member department, a 6-member department, and that kind of hiring was being done all over the place. And then that flush status lasted for 3 or 4 years, and suddenly we were into discussion of financial woes. I went through many different times where we prepared contingency plans and exigency plans. I remember learning the meaning of that word. That's come and gone over the years. I worked under many different deans, presidents. We had many different organizational structures. And, we have we have survived it all, and I think it's basically because the students come here and they want to learn, and we offer a basic freedom to these students, the freedom of education, what education can gain students. So despite all of our internal changes, I think our mission hasn't strayed that much from what it was when I first started.